Hi, welcome to East Lake Culinary Arts. Today we're going to be having 12 recipes for 12 days of Christmas. My name is Chef Tillez, and today's recipe we're going to be making sugar cookies. Before you start off, you want to make sure that you have your oven preheated to 350 degrees, and the next step is to have all your ingredients out. Your first ingredient is going to be 10 ounces of sugar, 8 ounces of butter. You're going to need 2 eggs, a teaspoon of vanilla, 17 ounces of bread flour, 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder, and a teaspoon of salt. So to start off, we're going to cream the butter and the sugar. When you mix your butter and your sugar, you want to make sure that you start off at a low speed and then slowly increase. You want to make sure that your sugar and butter is nice and fluffy. It's best if you use butter that's at room temperature, that way it mixes faster. If your butter gets stuck in the paddle attachment, you could just use a spatula to push it out. Once the butter and sugar is thoroughly mixed, you're going to want to add the vanilla and the eggs, 1 egg at a time. After the butter, sugar, and the eggs are mixed, you're going to want to add your salt, baking powder, and flour together. And you could just use a whisk to mix it all together. After it's lightly whisked, you're going to put half in, and then you're going to mix it, and then put the other half in. Be sure that you're constantly scraping the sides of the bowl so that everything is mixed in. You want to mix your dough until it has completely combined together and is coming off the sides of your mixing bowl. After your dough is thoroughly mixed, you're going to scrape it off the sides. Next step is we're going to roll out the dough. You can do it one of 2 ways. You can use parchment paper or you could just use flour. I like to use flour because it's easier. You're just going to sprinkle the flour so that your dough doesn't stick. You're also going to need a rolling pin, and you want to flour your rolling pin so the dough doesn't stick to your rolling pin. Next, you're going to take half of the dough and press it into a small ball. Be sure to sprinkle some flour on top as well. Now you're going to roll out the dough until it's about 1/4 of thickness. Since it is Christmas, we're going to be using some Christmas cookie cutouts. So you're just going to place it wherever you see fit and cut away at the shapes. Now you're going to want to remove the excess dough. Next, you're going to want to have a sheet pan out with parchment paper so that you can place your cookies on it. You're going to need a spatula and a brush. Now you're just gonna scoop your cookies out and place them onto the sheet pan. Now if there's a little bit of flour on your cookies, you're just gonna use the brush and sweep it away. The next step is to add sugar on top of your cookies. And you're just gonna sprinkle it on top. I generally like a lot of sugar on my cookies, but if you don't, you could just keep it to a small amount. Next, we're gonna put the cookies in the oven. Your oven should be at 350 degrees. We're gonna keep it in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. Halfway through the cooking process, you're gonna flip it around so that the cookies are golden on each side. Now we're gonna take the cookies out of the oven. The cookies are hot, so you want them to cool for a little bit. The last step is to just plate them and serve them to your friends and family.